Alright, what's up, dudes and dudettes? Before we kick into the video, I just want to take a little moment and say my body is beaten up pretty bad. We're going to get into injuries and sleep and recovery and all that fun stuff, but in the moment, I'm struggling. Physically, obviously. We're talking about physical pain, not mental and emotional pain that comes from having small calves or not eating enough carbs. That will be later in prep. But I had a massage today, and my masseuse found a new and exciting knot that is contributing to my pain. So take care of yourselves. I'm not saying you have to go and get pampered and a massage and all of that, but listen to your body, and there are so many resources out there free that you can access to any ailments. If you need medical help, seek medical help. But aches, pains, bumps, bruises, find out what works for you. If you have the luxury of being able to get a massage or go to a physical therapist, by all means do it. But that should not be a bar to, well, I'm just going to live with pain. No, don't do that. If you attempt a few things on your own and you don't get the results you want or you think you should be getting, then obviously seek a professional. Not me. I am by no means a professional. I'm a professional asshole. That's it. So, without further ado, kick it over to my older and wiser and more attractive self. I get more attractive with age, not less attractive. And if anybody says any differently, I will fight you. Just not within the next 14 weeks. Alright, enjoy the video, guys. What's up, dudes and dudettes? We are back with another video. Sorry you don't get to go along with me on a full day of eating this time, but I promise you there will be food later in the video, and food you're probably not expecting to see at all. But as my little car chat alluded to, talking about injuries, setbacks, recovery, those types of things. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. I say that every time, and every time it's a lie. You guys, you should know at this point. I'm going to do my best. But injuries. I've had a plethora of injuries over my lifting career. I have issues with this shoulder. I have what's called a bilateral pars defect. That's a fancy way of saying that one of my lower vertebrae is chipped. Probably happened when I was a kid, and it flares up and then it goes away. Bone grinds down, no pain, and it's a vicious cycle. I've been dealing with hamstring issues for 5 years at this point. No one's been able to tell me what's wrong with them. X-rays, MRIs, I try mobility, I try changing my routines. I think I finally figured it out, but it took literally 5 years of me, personally, in the gym. No one could really tell me what was happening. I had to figure it out on my own. That's sort of my general advice. Seek medical attention, again, if there's any issues, but your body is your body. There's no one-size-fits-all fix for anything, so learn what you're capable of. If you're limited in what you can do, then find a way around it. Persist, pivot, or concede. Matthew McConaughey said that in his book Green Lights, and it has stuck with me. Side note, fantastic book. If you can get it on Audible and have him read it to you, even better. Chef's kiss, so good. But he said that, persist, pivot, or concede, and I think it makes a lot of sense. It could be cliche, I don't know, maybe I'm just easily fooled for something catchy and witty, but I think knowing that setbacks are inevitable in anything you do, any goal you set, but in the context of fitness and working out, there are going to be setbacks. You're going to do something, a little bit differently. You're going to tweak something. You're going to pull something. Hopefully you don't tear or break anything, but those happen too. Depending on the severity of the setback, you have to be able to plan for them. If it's minor, persist. If it's just a little bit of a nagging pain, maybe find some mobility work, find something that you can still do the lifts, and maybe just monitor the pain, or pivot. If it's squats, for example, for me with my hamstrings, were debilitating for a while. So I stopped doing stiff-legged deadlifts. I stopped squatting, high bar, low bar. You have to be flexible and make some adjustments if need be. So have a plan as best you can for those setbacks, knowing that they are absolutely coming down the road. And don't be afraid to take a little time off if you need to. A little time off is not going to undo, months, weeks, years worth of lifting and gains. I'm guilty of that mindset. I take a week off and I'm just going to shrivel up like a raisin. Not going to happen. On a schedule, though, like I am, I've got 13 weeks now till my show. The injuries that I'm dealing with right now, specifically some lower back pain, I can't really take time off, so to speak. So the pivot really comes into play of either still hitting muscles that I can, still training heavy, maybe taking an extra rest day here or there, but just doubling up on the cardio. But you need to be able to make those adjustments. With that comes the mental health side of it. I always said that the gym was my therapy, and to a certain extent, it helps. It's a huge stress reliever. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't work out. People that have been around me, if I have to take a week or two off from the gym, I'm not pleasant to be around. So it's helpful, but it's not the only way to get through life, really. And toughing it out on your own isn't the best approach either. So I'm in therapy. I highly support therapy for anyone. You don't have to have specific diagnoses. It's just a way to talk. It's an outlet. Cognitive behavioral therapy. I have a minor in psychology, so I'm going to throw some real buzzwords at you guys. But that's what's helpful, is just being able to talk about minor stressors in life, or loss, grief, anything. It is not just, I'm going to tell you about how I have body dysmorphia and my left quad is bigger than my right quad, but my left arm is smaller than my right arm, and this ear hangs a little lower than that. No, we're not talking about that. I talk about that, but generally speaking, mental health is a crucial part of being fit. There's mental fitness and physical fitness, and you got to have both. You could have the biggest bicep peak in the world, you could be squatting 1,000 pounds, but if you don't take care of what's going on in your heart and in your head, you're not going to be healthy. That's my little soapbox. I'm going to get off that soapbox now. With mental health and the physical health, sleep, integral part of both of them. Recovery in general, that's what sleep is there for, and it will not benefit you to forego sleep for anything else. If you have the choice of, I didn't get my cardio session in today, but it's already 10 o'clock, or just going to bed and getting a solid 6 to 8 hours of sleep, go to sleep. Don't do the cardio. That sleep is going to help you infinitely more than that one cardio session. Sleep, sleep, sleep. And because that lends to recovery, additional things that I think are crucial for the recovery process, to make sure that when you're doing all of these other things, you're checking all of these boxes. Mobility work, flexibility. I used to not do any type of mobility work, no warm-ups, no cool-downs. I noticed a huge change in not only my mind-muscle connection, but my ability to recover specific, nagging pain areas went away. My shoulders, I started incorporating just a rotator cuff mobility routine before every workout, whether I'm hitting upper body or not. And I've noticed a huge difference. I can get a deeper stretch. I really feel the pecs, and I don't have any pain. So I absolutely recommend some. It doesn't have to be a full session. I get my mobility work done in like 10 to 15 minutes before I start my working sets. It doesn't have to be anything major, but it should be something. The reason I say mobility and flexibility is once I hit 30, my body just couldn't do what it used to do. And I did not accept that. 30 was a rough birthday, but since then, in the almost 5 years since, you guys can do the math to figure out how old I am. Don't forget to carry the 2. The priority of how I move, not in the gym, the other 22 hours of the day that I'm not, in the gym, it matters. And so once I started prioritizing mobility work, flexibility, I did notice less pain. I wasn't as stiff in the mornings. Going up and down stairs didn't hurt. Am I the pinnacle of mobility and taking everything, completely seriously and not pushing unnecessarily? Absolutely not. My knees are probably going to be the worst thing about me when I'm older. I'm doing my best to mitigate that as best I can. I'm sort of doomed from the start, given some of the knee issues I had as a wee lad. But I don't want to be bedridden, wheelchair bound, or have any mobility issues when I'm older. I know I'm sort of old now, but like double this. I see my dad walking around, 80 years old. He's always been in the gym, and he's a little slower, he's a little more wobbly, but he's still active. He still goes, to the gym, and he still goes up to the camp. He does his best to help me split wood for him. He's active, and I want to be that way, but better, at least as good, if not better, when I'm that age, assuming I get to live that long. Think about your future self. Think about how your actions today are going to impact mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually down the road. That's where flexibility and mobility work comes into play. So that's going to wrap up the video, at least this portion of it. Stay tuned for a few more clips of the events that happened this weekend. So I will see you guys next week. Until then, get comfortable being uncomfortable. What's going on, guys? A little bit of a commentary when I went grocery shopping, aka snack shopping this weekend. You can tell I'm carb deprived. That is 90% carbs in there. This is halfway through the haul, and this right here is the end of it. A little bit of protein, but mostly snacks. I need carbs. All right, so $200 later, I finished my grocery haul, and I didn't even buy like protein. It was more of just like, let me restock on carbs and snacks, and some stuff for the house. 200 doll hairs. It's tough. It's tough, guys. You don't have to buy all the stuff that I do. I'm just going to throw that out there. I eat differently than 90% of the population. I absolutely get that. But it is what it is. Don't feel like you have to conform to a certain meal plan or specific foods. You can make do on much, much less than what I get. But shit's expensive, and everyone's struggling on that. Not going to get into my thoughts on that. Those that know me know my thoughts on that, and we're going to leave it at that. But I am wearing my MILF shirt today. It says, "Man, I love freedom." The ironing, guys. But I'm going to a rodeo later, so having this shirt on makes me feel like I fit in. The beard helps too. The man bun, I might get some looks. But all right, guys, 2 commentaries in one video. I know it's absurd, but I wanted to take you guys along to this rodeo because just look at this. Look at this. My loving wife is she's the best to take me to this place. But if you guys are squeamish, look away. Just kidding. This is what I fit into my macros. I purposely did not eat much today or on this day, so I could make this fit and this. Those are deep fried Reese's Cups. That is a Reese's Cup funnel cake as well. It was delicious. Here's a little bit more of just me eating and a special guest appearance by my lovely wife. You guys just watch me put things in my mouth. All right, I mean, just let it wash over you. The rodeo was a good time. The food was delicious. I did not eat all of this. I did show some self-restraint. I had one deep fried Reese's Cup and about a third of the funnel cake. But they had all types of events. They had kids of all ages chasing various wild animals. This is some of the older kids chasing, I believe, a baby calf. PETA was nowhere to be found, which is probably a good thing because they would have shut this shit down real quick. And then you obviously had your bucking bronchos. You had lassoing competitions, the whole gambit. This was, in fact, my first rodeo, and I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, and I would certainly go back to another one. But yeah, it was a good time. I wanted to get some footage for you guys, and that's going to wrap up the video. So again, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys, see you guys next week.